Welcome back to the Stirling Sim Racing Dirt Street Stocks from USA with J.D. Markin and Scott Kays on the front row, Scott Whiteman, Robin Pardoon on the second row, David Minton, Clinton Chambers on the third row, Jeffrey Whiteman rounding out the field as the pace truck about to drop off for heat number one here. Green flag in the air and power move on the bottom. J.D. Markin now trying to make his way up to the front here. Jeffrey Whiteman on the high side trying to hold him off, and a little bit of banging going on further back in the field. Coming off turn 4, seeing some guys get the inside wall, trying to get as much room as they can. Coming up off of turn 2. Jeffrey Whiteman gets loose. He collects the one car, sends the one car into the wall. David Minton gets into it as well. Both cars having to go to pit road. Meanwhile, the 7 of Jeffrey Whiteman ends up in the outside wall. Rubbing down the wall there, Scott Whiteman now making a move for position. Meanwhile, it is Clinton Chambers who has made his way to the front early in this heat. Already have Markin on pit road. Looks like he might be done for the heat. He's one lap down. Might lose another one here before he has a chance to get off pit road. He had a fast car here tonight. It'll be interesting to see how he does once we get into the feature. He definitely had a power move on the start. Expect to see that power move again in the feature. Meanwhile, Robin Pardoon on the bottom fighting his way back, trying to get up there to the lead, and you see the track a little slicked off from the previous sessions, especially on corner entry. Everybody gets off turn 4 cleanly that time. Scott Whiteman making his way forward, now up into 4th. Scott Kays in 3rd. Here comes J.D. Markin, now a couple of laps down, coming off pit road, and Scott Kays looks a little slow coming out of turn 2, gets to the inside wall, does a two-wheel stand, but manages to land it on all fours, and he'll continue. Seven laps to go. Scott Kays just had an incident. He is on pit road. Let's take a quick look. And yet that was what we just saw. He ended up going to the inside wall, and heavy damage to that car. The engine blew up. He'll have to go. Hopefully he has a fast repair available. Meanwhile, Robin Pardoon is opening up a little bit of a lead now. Almost a full second, but here comes Clinton Chambers. And here comes Scott Whiteman, who went way to the back early in the running. Now fighting his way back towards the front. He is now up to 3rd. Clinton Chambers, a little bit of a blink there. Manages to come back, but Scott Whiteman definitely charging forward. Jeffrey Whiteman, who led earlier in the race, now back into 4th. But so far, the two biggest movers, Robin Pardoon and Clinton Chambers. Once we get to the feature, we'll have to keep a close eye on those two cars. Robin Pardoon still in the lead. He'll get 4 to go, this time by around this 3/4 mile track. And remember, this is the track that most of these drivers started learning dirt on iRacing on, but this combination is one that everybody starts with. It's easy to learn on, but it is hard to master, and this track definitely makes it harder. These are some of the best dirt drivers on iRacing. And it's definitely showing tonight as Robin Pardoon's lead. Clinton Chambers seems to be eating into it, and look at Scott Whiteman slide through 3 and 4. He sent that car into the turn that time. He is definitely trying to get everything he can out of that car. Robin Pardoon will get popsicle sticks this time. 2 laps to go. Clinton Chambers gains a little bit every now and then Robin Pardoon pulls away. This time he doesn't, though. Clinton comes off turn 4. 2 laps to go. He is almost back to the back bumper now. He definitely has the speed off the corner. Robin gains a little ground on corner entry. We'll see as they come off turn 2 this time. Clinton Chambers almost there, and it's worth noting Scott Whiteman is closing the gap a little bit too as they start to battle side by side. Now they are side by side. Looks like Clinton gets a nose ahead coming out of 4. White flag in the air for heat number 1. They both send it into turn 1 as hard as they can. Robin Pardoon still holding the lead, just barely. They touch coming off of 2. Clinton Chambers comes out on the losing end of that. Can he hold on through 3 and 4? He's got a run here. Who's going to win? Heat number 1 as they come off turn 4. Heavy door bang, and it'll be Clinton Chambers at the line. What an amazing last turn pass for Clinton Chambers to win heat number 1. Robin Pardoon comes home 2nd, Scott Whiteman 3rd, Jeffrey Whiteman comes home 4th, David Minton 5th, J.D. Markin 6th, and Scott Case is 7th. Warm-up comes to a close. Now they prepare to line up and do battle. And as they take to the grid, it'll be J.D. Markin starting on the front, Scott Case 2nd, Scott Whiteman is 3rd, Robin Pardoon 4th, David Minton 5th, Clinton Chambers 6th, and 7th will be Jeffrey Whiteman. Pace car leads them around the final pace lap here. And you can see after the heat and warm-up, the track is slicked off quite a bit. That'll definitely affect how some of these guys run the race here tonight. Clinton Chambers and Robin Pardoon on the front row. Pace truck is in. Green flag is in the air. And J.D. Markin making another power move early on. 3 wide into turn 1. And looks like J.D. backed out of it, but the 7 car's up in the wall. J.D. gets a piece of him. Spins down to the inside. His car is heavily damaged. Clinton Chambers, meanwhile, at the front. J.D. Markin definitely had a fast car here tonight. Just keeps getting caught in some bad luck. Scott Whiteman in 3rd now has managed to hold off a hard charge from behind. But Jeffrey Whiteman is the man on the move. Now up into 4th place. A little slide there out of turn number 2. Looked like he got a little bit loose, and Scott Kay's just involved in an incident. Let's see what happened. And a little door banging right in front of him. The 7 and the 5 get turned. The 5 gets turned around. The 2 gets caught up in it. Clinton Chambers continuing to lead, just keeping the car clean right now. Robin Pardoon in 2nd. Scott Whiteman in 3rd, and a ways back is the 7 of Jeffrey Whiteman. David Minton after that incident further back, and the field really starting to split up here. Heavy damage to that 5 car right now. And looks like Scott Whiteman had a little bit of trouble there coming off of turn 2, trying to take 2nd place away from Robin Pardoon. And he is definitely pushing it. Drove through the slick that time and managed to gain some ground back that he had lost, but he's struggling to get around on the bottom. Meanwhile, Clinton Chambers up front. Nobody has been able to get right back to his back bumper. No real challenge yet. J.D. Markin is back up off pit road now, and caution is out. First caution of the night. They are lined up single file for the restart with Clinton Chambers still out front, Robin Pardoon in second, Scott Whiteman third, Jeffrey Whiteman in fourth, Scott Kays in fifth, David Minton in sixth, and J.D. Markin in seventh. J.D. currently 2 laps down. As the pace car drops off, Clinton Chambers gets the green flag. Lap number 8, and off into turn 1 they go. No power move by J.D. Markin this time, but here comes Robin Pardoon. Now that everybody's packed back up, we might see Jeffrey Whiteman, who was extremely fast earlier on, we might see him gain a lot of ground here. Clinton Chambers just trying to hold that bottom line all the way around. You see Robin in the middle and Scott Whiteman up high. Everybody trying a different line every lap, just trying to find the fastest way around here for them. Little side-by-side battling. David Minton in the 5 car and the 1 car of J.D. Markin, who is a couple laps down, and a little incident down the back straightaway. Both of them end up in the inside wall, but keep going the right way. Clinton Chambers out front still, and the gap has not changed as Jeffrey Whiteman has an incident. And it looks like off into turn 3, the 7 car just checked up more than the 2 car was expecting, and that brings out another caution. Getting ready to go green now at the end of lap 12. Start of lap 13. Work after completing the second caution. Clinton Chambers, Robin Pardoon still at the front. Scott Whiteman and Scott Kays on third and fourth. David Minton in fifth. Jeffrey Whiteman in sixth. J.D. Markin still a couple of laps down. Pace truck is in. Clinton Chambers gets the green flag. Robin Pardoon started about a half a lane up higher, and we're already seeing some moves down to the inside. David Minton starting to work his way forward, and note the front end from when he hit the wall earlier. That front end is tore up. He is still coming to the front. Aerodynamics don't play a huge factor here. Scott Whiteman, who we saw running up high the first part of the race, is now working the middle to the bottom of the track. And the 7 car gets way loose off turn 4, manages to hold it on track. J.D. Markin trying to work his way back up and start getting his laps back. Meanwhile, Clinton Chambers, just so far, no issues at all, just keeping that car clean. And Robin Pardoon has to try and find a way around him. Clinton Chambers staying on the bottom through most of the corner, both ends of the track, and holds the bottom line down the front straightaway. Robin Pardoon has a run out of turn 4. Up to the high side goes Robin. We'll see if he can clear him here. And he does. That is the first time that Clinton Chambers has not led tonight, on with 26 laps to go. Coming out of turn 4, yeah, he is going to lead a lap here, and a couple of incidents happening back behind, bringing out the caution again. Looks like David Minton involved. There is the 5 car with some heavy damage, and the 1 car just turns him around, and unfortunately, Scott Kays gets caught in that as well. As we get ready to go back to green, it is now Robin Pardoon with the lead. Clinton Chambers in second. Scott Whiteman now in third. Jeffrey Whiteman in fourth. David Minton and Scott Kays both on pit road as the pace car comes in. Green flag back in the air. Robin Pardoon away. And I just noticed this, that Robin Pardoon, as his right sides, it's like he's got a wheel cover painted on them. It looks pretty cool. We'll have to try see if we can get a good look at what is painted on the side of that. Meanwhile, Clinton Chambers trying to fight back and reclaim the lead. Scott Whiteman on the high side trying to take second place away. Back behind, J.D. Markin, who is still 2 laps down, is still fighting. He actually picked up a couple spots. He is now up to 5th with the other 2 on pit road, both of which have come back up off pit road. So 7 cars out there now. J.D. Markin 2 laps behind David Minton, and Scott Case 3 laps behind as the leader continuing to extend his lead. The 2 car of Scott Case back on pit road, and it looks like Jeffrey Whiteman had an incident. Caution is back out. Let's see what happened to Whiteman. And it looks like the 7 car and the 1 car getting together, and the 7 car ends up in the outside wall, then the inside wall. Heavy damage to his car. Getting ready to go green once again. Now we only have 3 cars on the lead lap. Robin Pardoon, Clinton Chambers, and Scott Whiteman. The other, Jeffrey Whiteman, is now 1 lap down. J.D. Markin now 2 laps down. David Minton 3 laps down, as is Scott Case. Pace car is in. Green flag is back in the air, and Robin Pardoon down and away, but here comes Clinton Chambers on the bottom. Clinton Chambers trying to make something happen. He's been working the bottom line all night. But Robin Pardoon managed to make the pass for the lead up on the high side and is continuing to stay up there and try and fight back. And he's actually, Robin Pardoon gets a little bit of a gap, but here comes Clinton Chambers again. And J.D. Markin is fighting for all that car is worth. He is trying to get back up there and unlap himself. Almost has an issue with Scott Whiteman. Whiteman has to jump to the high side and get out of the throttle briefly. Scott Whiteman now fighting back on the outside. Robin Pardoon out of turn 4, continuing to lead, has now opened up the lead again. Scott Whiteman finally clearing the lap car of J.D. Markin here. 15 laps to go. Further back, Jeffrey Whiteman, who is currently being scored as 1 lap down in 4th. He is still up 3 positions from where he started and is having a decent recovery. And Scott Case, he is back out there. His car took some heavy damage in that caution. He had to get the fast repair out. The boys at the shop got his car running again, but man, it was a close one as it looked like his motor was done. David Minton also had heavy damage earlier and has to use a fast repair. And it looks like Scott K involved in another incident, and caution is out. And looks like he got loose in the slick, couldn't get it back under control, and fortunately nobody there to hit him, but it does draw the caution. Lights are out on the pace car. Jeffrey Whiteman gets a lap back. He is now back to the lead lap as Robin Pardoon in the lead. Clinton Chambers in 2nd. Scott Whiteman is 3rd, and Jeffrey Whiteman is 4th. Those are all in the lead lap. David Minton 1 lap down in 5th. J.D. Markin in 6th, and Scott K in 7th as the pace truck pulls off. And we get the green flag. Robin Pardoon down and away with 10 laps to go. And J.D. Markin, despite being a couple laps down, is still fighting, but right in front of him, you got Jeffrey Whiteman trying to fight his way back up towards the front. Scott Whiteman is trying to get around Clinton Chambers here. That high line, as the track is slicked off, has been the fastest way around so far. Robin Pardoon has used that high line to make the pass, but here goes Chambers to the, Scott Whiteman goes to the bottom in a power move around Clinton Chambers. He was down on the grass on corner entry. Now he drifts back up to the high side. We'll see if he can hold on to that 2nd place spot. Clinton Chambers fighting back on the bottom, but Scott Whiteman manages to get out front. Still trying to run down Robin Pardoon. Since Robin Pardoon took the lead, he has just continued to walk away here. Scott Whiteman now to 2nd, but he is 0.7 of a second back. Clinton Chambers currently in third. Jeffrey Whiteman in fourth. David Minton currently in fifth. J.D. Markin in sixth, still trying to unlap himself and putting up one heck of a battle. And Scott Kays in seventh. And the gap is shrinking from first to second place with 7 laps coming to 6 laps to go. Scott Whiteman is starting to close in just a little bit on Robin Pardoon. And he closes down to half a second that time. As they go off into 1 and 2, Whiteman still trying to close that gap. Robin Pardoon up on the high side. Scott Whiteman has changed back down to the bottom. Clinton Chambers still right within striking distance. Coming to 5 to go for the leaders, and Scott Whiteman really sends it off of turn 4. Didn't gain a whole lot of ground there, but definitely giving it everything he's got. 5 laps to go, and losing it off the turn gave Clinton Chambers a chance to catch back up. He's got some momentum now, up off of turn 2. Into turn 3 now, it is Whiteman in second. Chambers in third. They are still battling side by side all the way. Scott Whiteman really pushing that car. He keeps getting wicked loose off turn 4. And now Clinton Chambers looking to the inside, and they have closed the gap. Oh, it looked like Whiteman might have got the wall. Doesn't lose any momentum. Continues charging forward. They had closed the gap on going into turn 1. They had actually closed the gap down on Robin Pardoon, but just not enough yet. Back off into turn number 1. 3 laps to go. Clinton goes way high. Gets into the wall and the back of Scott Whiteman. Everybody keeps going. Clinton Chambers pushing for with everything he's got, trying to get back up there in the lead. Remember, he led early on. He definitely knows how to get around here, but a lot of chaos ensuing behind him. David Minton, Jeffrey Whiteman, both involved in incidents. 2 laps to go. And every line they can use, everything they can find, they are pushing for every bit of it. Now it's going to be Clinton Chambers to the bottom. He's trying to find a way around Whiteman. Oh, he checks up, loses a lot of momentum off of turn number 4. White flag in the air for Robin Pardoon. Does Scott Whiteman have enough time to close that gap? 0.6 of a second gap as you see the 5 car of David Minton backward in turn number 1. Coming out of 3 and 4. Scott Whiteman's last chance to take the lead here. Robin Pardoon up high. Whiteman drifts way high out of 3 and 4. Not going to be enough. Robin Pardoon pulls down the win. Scott Whiteman finishes second. Clinton Chambers comes home in third. Jeffrey Whiteman, after being involved in the first incident, returns to 4th. J.D. Markin in 5th. David Minton comes home 6th. And Scott Kays is 7th. Another great run from the Stirling Sim Racing League. And huge shout out to Everyman's Bookshop for sponsoring the league. Great job by all the drivers tonight. What a finish and what a battle.